I think your theory about the airport, like employees being ruder because they know you can't get mad, has also become the attitude of a lot of the restaurant servers and people within the terminal, because I have received orders of chicken wings from locales within terminals on layovers where, like, if I were at TGI Fridays and they gave me that identical plate of wings, like, I would have had a French Revolution style freak out for how bad the fucking food is there. But they know you can't get mad about anything. You can't complain about food. You can't throw a tantrum. And it would be fun to go hog wild and throw a tantrum in the airport.
You ever see the video of that former NFL player beating the shit out of the guy who weighs your bags at American Airlines?
No, I want to see it though. You don't remember who it was?
This is kind of chopped up because it's not the raw footage, but they got into a thing, and I think the white guy hit first, and then he got shellacked. Dude was bleeding out of his face all over baggage. It was great. Airline employees are just TSA is what I should say. Although I've had whoever searches your fucking bag, which I think is TSA, fuck those people. They steal, and if nothing else, when I pack my checked bag, I do it in such a way that things that are semi-fragile or like protected, like I'll wrap them up in pajamas and stuff, or maybe even a towel. Like I put tripods, and I fly with this whole setup if I go somewhere. So like this gets checked, and like the sound mixer gets checked, and there's keyboards and mice, and everything's wrapped up carefully with like clothes. So it's like a shock absorbing thing. And they just unwrap all that shit and throw it back in there loose. And then they stole my belts that one trip. I think
not the Gucci belts.
I was wearing that one, but I had packed.
Thank God.
All right. but I don't think I owned it at the time, but I think I owned 3 belts in the world and packed 2 of them, a brown one and a black one, so I could wear my like whatever my brown thing was. They stole them both, and I think I had like a formal thing to do when I got there, and it was like, can we stop by like JCPenney or something on the way?
What douchebags!
Why would they steal my belts? They weren't nice belts. They were fucking from Belk.
Some guy forgot his belt that day, and he's like, "Thank God."
But I would always they leave that little note behind that's like, "Hey, we went through your shit," and it's fuck. I'd rather you didn't. And I just thought that this was handled poorly. Like, I hate when they go through my
you
shit.
had your grubby hands touching all my stuff.
I have like smuggled stuff back from flights before, like weed before from Colorado in my baggage, and they never found any of that. So they're doing a shit job.
Are you allowed to do that?
No,
it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Why am I asking? Yeah. I know. I guess I knew internationally you couldn't, but
they're never gonna get you, because I've done that accidentally more times than I have purposefully. Where it's like I'll get home and unpack, and it'll be like, oh well, there's a weed cartridge in here, and here's
a weed cartridge,
some gummies that like I didn't
gummies.
They're like as hard as sidewalk chalk. Now they've been in there so long. I've taken 10 flights with these.
I have smuggled so many knives in my carry-on. I thought they didn't care. And then I lost one. I was like, oh, well, that sucks. But whatevs, 1 in 10 times I lose it. And then I lost like 2 knives in a row. And I was like, well, fuck. This is a bad deal for me. So now I don't do it.
I had a cigar lighter one time, and they were going to confiscate it going through security. And the guy was like, I smoke cigars. I know that lighter. Can I remove the butane from it? And I'm like, of course. And he like bled it of butane, and then I could bring it with me. But I've seen them. I remember when Epic Mealtime came to my house, they accidentally packed one of my knives in their carry-on, and it was a giant Rambo knife. Yeah, that they took on the plane, and it was wrapped up in like electrical cords, so it must have masked the X-ray. And then when Muscle's glasses got back home, he went to like reach in and grab, and he cut the shit out of himself on my Rambo knife. Pretty sure he stole it.
Did he know it was in there?
Pretty sure he stole it. Yeah.
Oh, so he got what was coming. He ganked.
That's how I look at it, frankly. I never.
Well, there's an easy way to tell. Did you give him the knife?
Nope. No.
Then he took it.
He sure did. Yeah.
Who would go to your house and just just aside from Jeremy, just take things because they wanted them.
I had a lot of what
That's
I honestly
so rude.
look. I
More than rude.
Yeah, it is.
You know what?
I
I think it's gauche.
I almost
It is so
understand.
gauche.
Like I almost understand it a little bit because like you ever look at like a billionaire. I heard this guy on a podcast and he's like I got a friend who's a billionaire, and not one or two. I asked him one time, hey man, how about you give me one? He's like, one what? $1 million. Why don't you just give me one? And he's like, well, do you have a plan or do you have like some idea of what you want to do? No, just fucking give it to me. You won't miss it. Like I can understand that mindset of just telling someone, hey, you've got plenty, give me one. So like I'm sure he came to my house and I was sponsored by SOG at the time.
$3,000 and you just wanted one. It'd be like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I had a giant pile of knives and so he probably was like, you won't miss that one. And I didn't miss it. You know, it was, but
it was either him or the ATF walking away with your shit in the long run.
Somebody was going to get it, you know, might as well be glasses.
But at least he gashed himself up something fierce.
Yeah.
Maybe he forgot he robbed from you and took your knife.
Perhaps. Or maybe
Otherwise, like if I had a luggage bag, if I had luggage full of knives, I wouldn't reach in like it's a video game inventory. Like I'd look. Be like, oh yeah, that giant knife I stole from the guy pretending to be Russian that led us into his. That's funny.
Yeah.
After they left, were you like, where's my cool knife?
No, I would have never missed it because I had I was sponsored by that company, so I just had lots of knives. You know, I that wasn't my only one. Yeah, but it was the big one. It was like bigger than the one you have, and it was
I thought it was the same. Okay.
Now this was like halfway to machete mode, and it was stainless steel. It was shiny. So it was just I think we used it in the video. It's the one I broke. I broke a glass bottle with it and then scooped mashed potatoes with the broken bottle and ate them. It was that knife.
Nah.
I broke the case to that knife. It was strapped onto my motorcycle when one of my crashes off road, and the strapping ripped off. Bummer.
That's a shame.
I don't have any knives.
You haven't gone on any motorcycle trips lately. Do you have any adventures planned for any time in the future?
I don't have anything planned. I get asked that a lot, and I feel like I'm supposed to oh my God, I guess I need an 8,000-mile off-road trip.
No, it's like whatever floats your boat is what you should be doing. You've got lots of hobbies. I never like it when somebody sees somebody who's 40 or 50 years old and they're like, oh, midlife crisis. And I was like, no, it's just a new fucking hobby. You never picked up pickleball? Like, what's your problem, dude?
Dude, I've been midlife crisising since I was 8 years old. Like, this isn't new for me. I mean,
pickleball wouldn't be a good activity for you, Woody. The risk is far too low. Like you would be like, you'd hit it like 3 times. You'd be like,
anyway, they are heroes to me, and the good they do in this world is hard to measure.
But not the Marines. Just so we're clear, not heroes.
No, what about Marine doctors?
Well, now you're winning me over.
Yeah. Or is that like a double negative? Cancels out. Who's to say?
Wait, if you heard there was a surgeon on board, would you sit in your seat on the flight and let him go first?
No. He's not going to surgery. He's flying back home.
Exactly. But you would for a Marine who had to tend to
only because they make me.
What are you gonna do?
When I walk through and quickly open and close my wallet and say special agent, they don't let me. I'm all right. You got me. I'm not a special agent, but I do have a gun.
They let soldiers go on the plane first. They still do that?
Yeah. Like if there's any around, they're like pre-boarding
I don't know
and any active service members. Some airlines still do.
I'd much rather get off first than get on first. Getting on first is way overrated. First class gets on first,
for sure.
First. Like, it's not a big deal to me unless I'm going to start my free drinks and get drunk early on the flight. That's the only time I might care. But otherwise, I'd pay way more money to get off first.
I mostly fly first class, and I'd rather get on last because in first class, we have our own baggage compartments. There's plenty of room for my carry-on. It's not a problem. But if I was in coach, I'd like to get on first so that my bag doesn't get checked, and then I've got a whole ordeal on the other side.
That is the worst when you're the last person on a packed flight and they start giving that warning as you're coming down the runway and like, we're running out of overhead space, folks. And it's like, hopefully I can make it. Turn around, no one. And now I have to give it to some guy who's going to like in my head, like surly throw it over the side as soon as I'm out of vision.
I was on coach and I was like training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like, 4 times a week at the time. And I'm thinking I'm like Captain Tough Guy. And I go to my seat and some guy has his carry-on and his suit laid out across the overhead baggage.
Rude.
Like nice. And he clearly doesn't want it to be wrinkled or anything. And I see that and I'm like, oh, no, you cannot have this whole overhead cabinet meant for like the 6 of us to yourself. So I just take my luggage and I push it in and I smush his suit up against the back. And he's like, whoa, my suit's there. And I said, yeah, I saw it. I took my seat.
Yeah, it's a nice suit.
I like to imagine half empty flight, lots of other That'd be funny.
Like ball it up first, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes me a dick or maybe I just responded appropriately to a dick. But.
Yeah, well, sir, your suit's no more important than my Ziploc bags full of cat pee.
No, I'm not a vet. Why did you ask?
What kind of self-important asshole spreads his suit out across coach? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's rude. Like if he knew he was bringing a suit, get one of those tri-fold suitcases, like a literal suitcase. Like that's why it's there.
This wasn't even, if it was in a bag, it was no more than like a dry cleaner bag. Like it was just laid out in the flat.
Yeah, that guy's in the wrong douchebag move. Like
I've never had to check my carry-on before at that moment, usually because I do first class unless it's just a really short flight. But that bag isn't packed to be checked. That bag is full of like expensive there's a laptop in that bag. There's probably memory cards or cameras or like valuable things. Like I probably got like cash in there or something. I don't want you to take this away. This is the stuff that I wanted to keep with me and protect and make sure nobody looked at or touched. Like this is my shit. I hate when they try to do that. But, you can never get upset on a flight or at the airport because 9/11, never forget. And they know now we all have to be upset. You have to be a fucking Vulcan at the airport. You have to do, I see you've assaulted me. Well, I wish you hadn't. Anyway,
well, when that guy on the golf cart gets here in 9 minutes, I'm going to tell him what's up.
I'm going to tell on you, sir. Yeah, you see what happens when people get like a little agitated. Now you're on some no-fly list. You can never fly with American Airlines again. Like they're serious about that shit. It would suck so bad to get banned from an airline. Like your regional airline, if Delta banned me, like they're probably like 70% of total flights in and out of my state. It would be a problem. I could still get flights, but when I go to book a Delta flight, it's like, you want to go at 7, 7:30, 7:45, or 8. And it's like that. It's like around the clock in like 30-minute intervals to every location on the planet. It's great to fly with Delta. If I get banned from Delta, it would really suck. So
I wish Raleigh was a hub. Raleigh, it used to be a hub. That airline went out of business around after 9/11, and now we're just
why.
Fewer people were flying post 9/11.
This is gonna shock you. I'm waiting. You should just stay seated.
That was real. Every now and then you see like a young person like realize that like the Titanic really happened for the first time. They thought it was just a movie their whole lives, or Pearl Harbor even. Like there's some
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, they
dropping the ball.
That happened. Oh my god.